So, welcome back to another episode of Let's Chat Derbyshire, a podcast where we talk about mental health, suicide prevention, neurodiversity, and all those topics related to it. I'm Luke, and I'm in the mental health and suicide prevention team. And today we're going to be talking about becoming a dad. It is just after Christmas, and I've managed to rope one of my friends in to do this. So, we're joined by James.
Hello.
Hello. James, just give us a bit of an introduction to yourself, I guess, and we'll get cracking.
So I'm James, I'm 37, I'm due to be a dad in about 2 months' time, my first one, which is scary, exciting, and all the things that go along with it.
I guess, I've known James for how long? I mean, we've known each other now, 10, 12?
No, it'd be 50, over 15 years.
15, Jesus Christ.
Yes.
God. So I originally knew James through Scouts, and then that's how we've sort of become friends through it. And luckily, I don't know if it's lucky or not, but me and James have somehow managed to, not together, but end up looking like we're having kids at the same time. So it's been quite good. And today we just wanted to, I guess, share a bit about our journeys, as I guess we're slightly different to how we, are coming expecting fathers with our wives. Just to kick us off, I guess, sort of, how was it for you originally? You got married to Josie, and sort of, what's your journey been into this?
Yeah, so we got married in 2019, we did 3 months travelling for our honeymoon, and that was at the point when Josie stopped taking the pill.
Yeah.
And we kind of decided that stop taking the pill. We know it takes a few months to wear off, come back and just see what happened basically. So that was the plan for that. And then we got back in, was it December in 2019, carrying on. No plan apart from Josie stopped taking the pill. And of course lockdown came, and then lockdown went, and that's when we got to the point we were like, I probably should have got pregnant by now. Yeah. It's been a while, and we just kind of forgot about it with travelling and lockdown and everything happening. So we went to the doctors at that point, and we were told that you had to be trying for at least 2 years before they'd actually put you through for IVF or anything. So we'd kind of been a bit relaxed about the whole thing. We were both very focused on his careers. So we just didn't think anything of it, and we thought, 2 years is fine, that's not a problem. Yeah. And then, so just carried on trying for 2 years without any thoughts or anything. And then it was, probably nearly 2 years ago now. So, where actually we got to 2.5 years in and thought, nothing's still happening. We definitely need some help. Went back to the doctors, and that's the point where we started the IVF journey. So it was back round to doing the tests. So do the initial fertility test, make sure we're both okay.
Do both of you do that when you go?
Yeah, and both of us were fine. And then that was it. That would have been the next step, but for us the challenge was, unfortunately, Josie was a little bit overweight. We're not the slimmest of couples. So we had a little bit of time. We had, I think it was about 6 months delayed, just because Josie had to lose a stone. I think it was stone and a half, something like that. There's limits on what they'll allow you to move, because IVF, everything's so regulated. You've got to be a certain way. You've got to be certain this, certain that. So had 6 months where... part of that as well is we found out Josie got a thyroid condition. Right, so we had to balance that out, lose some weight, which... It was pretty simple, actually. Josie did fantastic in terms of losing weight. She just focused on it, nailed it, got the weight off in no time at all. The thyroid settled down. There was a little bit of a challenge with the weight loss there, in that the thyroid kind of didn't help with the weight loss. It kind of goes hand in hand. Anyway, got there eventually. And then we got put through to have IVF. Which basically starts off, you have an initial consultation where they look over everything, they look at all your stats, do some more tests, a lot of blood work, that kind of thing. A lot of paperwork, just because there's a lot of like I said, the rules that they have to follow and just, all those kind of bits. So going through all that, and then you just have to wait for a little bit. Then you go back and have another consultation, and actually this was one that kind of threw us a little bit. So we basically went, load of paperwork, everything's fine, and then they talk you through the process. So for those that don't know, with IVF is it's all timed to your cycle, but they kind of suppress the cycle and they manage the cycle, which is done by injections, which I had to give Josie every day.
Oh wow.
For 2 weeks. Of course, you go into that and they tell you all about that, but the paperwork, as with anything I've ever found in the NHS, doesn't tell you what to expect. So we went into think it was just some more tests and a little bit of a talk, and they were like, told us what to do with everything, and then we're like, cool, so you'll start next month, and we were like, crazy. The only kicker that we had, so we left that being really excited that next month we would be starting IVF, but I've got a heart condition, and there's actually a percentage chance that I would pass it on to the child, which for their ethics kind of review, they had to contact my consultants that look after me for my heart condition to make sure that it wasn't 100% chance that I was going to pass it on, because ironically, I can go out and I could get as many women pregnant as I want, even if there was 100% chance that I was going to pass on my heart condition and no one had stopped me. But as soon as you go through IVF, someone monitors, someone has to check on it, and someone has to make a decision whether you are suitable to have a child. Which is fine, it is what it is. Anyway.
It must have been a bit frustrating, though.
Yeah, it was, because we walked out thinking, oh my God, we're starting this next month, this is so exciting, especially going in not knowing what we were really going for. And then, that was it. So I remember actually was driving home and getting a phone call, and it being the consultant that spoke to us saying, oh, really sorry, but we need to do this extra bit of stuff.
Wow.
And then literally at that point, again, annoyingly, it's out of our control, so it's them writing to the doctors. The only really good thing was that my consultants are really on the ball with stuff, because I go to Leeds for the congenital heart condition unit, and they are fantastic. They're so on the ball. So I think I worked out the dates, and actually the IVF consultant sent the letter the next day. My consultants were replied within a week. So within, and then I think it was probably 2 or 3 days later after, I worked out my consultants had replied back is that we'd got the phone call saying we could go ahead, so we were back on track.
Quite
just
slick
delayed
then, wasn't it, I guess?
Yeah, that was good. So only delayed it by 2 weeks. And then when Josie started the next cycle, that was it. We were full on into it.
How was it between you and Josie? I guess I don't know, like just from my own experience. Did it put any pressure on you guys, as I guess as a couple, or was it quite, you're in the same mindset, you sort of went through it together and wasn't too difficult?
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is we've known each other for that long. Me and Josie have been together since. We've been together like 18 years now. It was just another challenge for us. We're very logical people. Josie's an engineer, so she looks at everything very logical. In my work, I work with data and stuff, so again, I'm very logical about stuff. So kind of like, one of the things in the consultations is they tell you the percentages, and we're not, we didn't go into this. Yes, we wanted children. We weren't desperate, but we wanted children. We weren't in that mindset yet. So we went in being like, this is something that might work for us, but we've just got to roll with it. We knew it wasn't the be-all. It wasn't 100% guaranteed. And actually, I think one of the things that really stood out for us is when we looked at the percentages in our fields of work, the percentages of success that they give you, we wouldn't even consider starting any form of trial with that. Never mind saying this is the best solution that you've got. I think one of the percentages is about 50%, and that both of us, if you went into a trial where it was like, there's a 50% chance it'd work, we'd be like, no, not worth it at all, not worth the time, not worth the money. So we were very much like, 50%. It's a coin toss. We'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
And then I think, in terms of our relationship, I don't know. Like Josie does get emotional about stuff. I'm the level-headed one, so I kind of just smile and nod. My attitude to things is I can only control what I can. So the only thing that time I could control was how Josie was feeling. So just trying to say the right things, making sure her feel reassured, making sure she was as happy as possible. Don't really care about myself, worry about Josie. As long as she's happy, that's all that matters. That was fine.
Quite nice then that you can go through it being strong together. Once you started that journey after doing the injections and stuff, what was it like? I guess, how was that process of starting the IVF, and what did it look like for you?
It's really easy for me. As a male, you do naff all. You basically, you day one, you've got a load of injections, you get a big bag of drugs and injections and stuff. And I remember the first one, so Josie's also needle phobic as well, so the thought of her doing injections was terrifying. And we walk in, we get in the front door, and it's like, and they told us you got to do the first one as soon as we get home, kind of thing. And I remember sat there, and I got everything set up for Josie because she couldn't look at the needles. So I got all the injections set up, and then I was like, right, do you want me to do it? And she was like, no, I'll do it. No, I'll do it. And I was like, are you sure? And then it felt like about half an hour. It was probably only 30 seconds, but there was a few seconds of where Josie tried to do it herself. I was like, let me have a go. There was lots of swear words at me and told to stay away. She then tried again herself and then couldn't do it. So in the end, I just can't. She closed her eyes and took some calming breaths, and then I just did an injection. And then basically for 2 weeks it was just that. It was okay. We got in a nice little routine, but we got in a routine of get up in the morning. Josie would stay in bed. I always get up earlier than Josie anyway. So I'd get up, take the dog for a walk, come back, make her a cup of tea, and then we've got some ice packs to just put on her belly just to so she didn't feel the needle as much. So I put the ice pack on her belly. She'd sit and have the cup of tea. I'd sort the needles out, and then it'd just be a case of just jab her, and off we go. So, and then that was it, get on with the day. So actually it wasn't too bad to say.
That's handy. I guess getting into that routine probably really helped with it as well, so it didn't become a big thing. It was just, right, this is what we're going to do for the next 2 weeks, and that's it.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, I can't do anything without making some inappropriate joke, and I think the first day I walked in shouting yabby stabby doo. That didn't go down well. And then I also did the second day, I did the Dr. Nick off of The Simpsons walking in going, hi everybody. That didn't go down well, so we just serious routine. That works. Jokes don't work in that situation.
Well, yeah, that's true. I'd probably try and make a joke out of it, then get something thrown at me.
Yeah,
definitely. After you'd done all that, then what sort of was the next steps? Was it quite quick, or how does it sort of work?
So actually it gets harder after that.
Right.
Needles are easy because needles, you do it, it's in your control. The only thing what I can control is trying to get better at doing the needles. Bear in mind, I'm not a no. Doctors have years of, and nurses have years of the training to do needles. You get a 10-minute explanation and off you pop. So trying to make it so it didn't hurt Josie as much as possible. Then you do a few other injections and bits and bobs, because effectively at that point what you're doing is you're making the eggs grow, and then they need to, they hit the right point, which you just have to nip to the hospital and have a few tests and a few x-rays and stuff. Once they've decided that the eggs are the right place, you do an injection to release the eggs. So you do that, and then that was the difficult bit, I think, especially for Josie, but again it's out of my control, which was really hard. So you go down, and when they extract the eggs, it's quite a painful process.
Right.
And then as well, they gave Josie some drugs, but they didn't really work. And then I was trying to tell her to ask for more, but then she was like, no, it's fine. And trying to do the British stiff upper lip bit. And I'm like, no, you just need to ask for more drugs at this point. But she didn't. which is really difficult for me because I'm like, I know she's in pain, I know Josie, I know what she's like. I can't ask for her to have more drugs because you're just not allowed to. Them's the rules, kind of thing. And then she wouldn't do it, so that was difficult watching her go through that and just be really in pain and not being able to help her in any way.
Just like voiceless, aren't you? Really, just
just there, like stroking her head, trying to keep her calm down, trying to tell her to breathe and just get through it. But so there was that. Got through that, and then you have to wait. So then the eggs are fertilised, and then you've got to wait. So it's 24 hours. You literally the next day,
right?
And that's the nerve-wracking bit. And I can see, and again, we went into it so level-headed because we were like, right, I think we had 8 eggs, which is okay. It's not loads. It's not too few. It's okay. And then you're just waiting for the next day for that phone call. Wow. But we're like, well, none of them might take. And I always remember, I don't know how we did it, but we'd booked 2 weeks. We'd supposed to have gone on holiday in the 2 weeks that we were having IVF. So actually, we ended up being off when we had the whole of the IVF thing. So it actually made life quite easy because we didn't have to worry about work. We were no stress. But anyway, I remember that morning, we'd got up. We'd gone and made a cup of tea. And we're like, I don't know what to do. We're waiting for this phone call. And it's like, well, if nothing happens, let's do something nice. I can't even remember where we were talking about, what we were talking about or anything. Anyway, we get this phone call and it's like, and we were actually told, we're really sorry. You've had no eggs fertilised. So we were just like gutted. But at the same time, we were gutted, but we just didn't expect anything. So I think we both kind of just went, oh, well, we've got another round. Because you get 2 rounds free with Sheffield. So it was just like, well, second round. We'll see what happens with that one. Is what it is. And then, of course, you've got, we parents knew they were doing stuff. So we got mums waiting for for us to text them and all that kind of stuff. So we did that, and we text people, and we phoned parents and all that kind of stuff, and it was just like, it's not worked. It's what it is. Move on. And then Josie was on a medication after we'd stopped the injections. You're on another medication, which is to control all the hormones and everything. And when the woman that had phoned up in the morning, she'd not told us what to do, and anyway, we're having this discussion during the day, and Josie went, so I wonder what I have to do with that one. I was like, that's a good point. I was like, well, I assume you can just stop taking it now until the next cycle kind of thing. I was like, well, I'll tell you what, we'll phone them up, shall we? And literally the second that I said that, my phone rang, and I went, oh, so I got the number saved. I was like, oh, they're phoning us. Oh, weird. So, and then I just remember phoning up and her being like, it's James, do all the verification bit. She's like, gonna sound a little bit of crazy, a little bit of a roller coaster for you. She's like, but 2 eggs have actually fertilised. She's like, they're way behind. We're not sure what the chances are. She's like, but we just decided to leave them, and 2 of them have actually fertilised. So we were like, oh my God. We were like, well, what does that mean? What do we do now? And she's like, we need to leave them because they might not develop. And at the time of phone call, they were like, we've got 2. And then they were like, but they're a little bit behind, we're not sure. And they were like, anyway, what we'll do is we're going to keep an eye on them. And with IVF, when they've got fertilised eggs, what they generally do is they hold them for 3 days to see which ones progress. Because if you end up with loads of eggs, they freeze some, so you don't have to go through the whole thing again. You can just, like the egg extraction, you can just put some in. But because we'd only got 2, they were like, well, we'll see what happens, and then we'll put them back in tomorrow if they're okay. We're like, right, well, when will that be? Because I think this phone call must have been about 2:00, and they were like, well, we'll call you back in a bit. We'll keep an eye on and we'll call you back. But I guarantee you, we'll call you back by the time we finish at 5:00. So we're like, right, okay, clear the plans for tomorrow. Again, good job we weren't at work or anything. And then 5:00 came, 5:00 went. We were just like, oh, no one's called us. So rather than getting upset, we just went, assume the worst, assume it's not failed. They didn't want to give us some bad news like in the evening and yeah, whatever. And we went out and did stuff. I can't remember what we did, but we did something. And then, the next morning, about 8 o'clock in the morning, it was the same routine because we were off, gone up. I walked the dog, made a cup of tea and sat there. And it was like, I don't know what we do now. We get this phone call. Can you come down? They were like, one of them looks really good. One of them not so great. We think if we put them both in, now we stand a chance. We were like, when do you want us to come down? And we're thinking like tomorrow because like it's the normal 3 days kind of thing. They were like, well, the best place for to be is in your body, so can you come down now? And we were like, what now? They were like, well, if you could get here before 10, that'd be perfect. We've got a slot open. We're like, yeah, we'll be there. So literally just rush down, and then they put them in, and then you just wait 6 weeks. And it's literally like that. You literally go down, and they're like, we've got these 2 eggs. They show you some pictures, which you go, oh my God, it looks like something out of a biology book at school. And you go, cool. And then they put them in, and that's it. They leave you to it. And then you just have to wait 6 weeks. And then, and then that 6 weeks is a pain because you're still taking some drugs. You can't do pregnancy tests because the drugs give a false negative. Oh, right. So you can't do a pregnancy test. You've just got to wait 6 weeks until you go back to the hospital and they do one for your blood test. Now, Josie being Josie wanted to know and liking to like to know everything. She did a pregnancy test about 3 or 4 days before the blood test. And was adamant that she was pregnant. Then she did another 1 or 2 days later, and the line had got fainter, so she was convinced that she wasn't pregnant. And then me being the logical, you've got to follow the process. There's probably a reason why. Was like, just ignore it. It's like it's probably good. They've told you not to do one. Exactly that. You're winding yourself up. They've told you not to do one. There's probably a reason why. Don't know why I didn't think to Google at this point. Did after, of course, but not at this point. I was like, there's probably a reason. Just wait. And and then Josie went for the blood test. So and then of course in this, although like my heart condition, I had a little bit of a thing go on with my heart. So the day that we were supposed to find out the blood results of the blood test, we went down, did that together. I had to go up to Leeds to go and get my heart checked out and stuff. So I ended up finding out. They phoned Josie, told her she was pregnant, and I got the phone call. And I was stood in the hall with a load of people. Well, no. The funny thing is they'd asked. I'd had to go up in like an emergency to this, and then normal consultations on that day was baby. So I was literally sat in a ward, in a consultation room, surrounded by people with newborn babies, with Josie, who phoned me to say they're calling me. What did she do? That was it. So they'd phoned her, and she said, "Can I just try and connect my husband? He's not with me right now." Yeah. They were like, "Yeah, we'll hold." So she phoned me and said they'd phoned me. I was like, "Okay, cool, connect it." And then for whatever reason, it wouldn't work. I just got cut off. Yeah. So I'm just stood there waiting, surrounded by all these babies. And I'm like, I have no idea what's happening. And I'm sure it was like 2 minutes, but it felt like about 2 hours that I was waiting. And then, she came on and she's like, "Yeah, I'm pregnant," and just stood there and just like had to run into a toilet and just cry in the toilet.
Wow. It must, I don't know, it must just felt like such a relief though, like, especially with like the up and downs in the middle of it not working, then it working, then not here. Like, did you feel a bit like, we're actually probably here now?
No, not at all, because again, the logic in me goes, well, at this point we're only 6 weeks pregnant, and of course they gave us a chart with the percentages.
Oh god, and
until you get to like the 3 month point where you at that point you're 99%, I'm just like, I'm happy because we've actually got to this point. But then the logic in me just kicks in and it's like, right, it's just another step that we've hit. And then after that, it was just, everything was just a step, and I only really felt it was real. In fact, I refused to look at baby clothes, buy baby clothes, talk about baby until we hit that 3 month point, and we got a scan where we saw a baby.
Yeah, and even then, but I don't know if it's for you. So you're due in a few months now, aren't you?
It's the 2nd of March.
2nd of March, yeah. Me and Charlotte are due, 19th of May. And I don't think the worry goes, though, because you still think something could still go wrong, couldn't you? I don't know. For me, I keep thinking that anyway, like, even though, like, we're at 20 weeks now, you still think there's still that chance that it could go wrong, and I don't know. I don't know if it's got any easier.
I don't know. I'm not bothered now, like...
You know...
The baby... The thing is I've always had the attitude of I can only control what I can control. And at this point... Like, Josie worries about stuff like that. Josie's worried about, like, we had a 30-week scan the other week because, for whatever reason, Josie's classed as medium risk.
Yeah.
Which nobody can tell us why. They just put some figures into a computer and it says we're medium risk.
Yeah, I don't know if they do this in Derbyshire, but in Sheffield, it's the Tommy's app, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then it tells you if you're low, medium, or high risk. And yeah, it's basically they just put a few answers in and then it pops it out.
This is it. I'm like, why?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
but why? Why don't you know?
And why it just says you are.
Yeah, yeah. Like, right, okay. So anyway, because of that, we get extra scans. So we had the 30-week, and Josie was worrying a lot about. She was worrying. I'm like, but what are you worrying about? She's like, well, anything and everything. I'm like, but you can't control everything, and you can feel it kicking inside you. Like he's kicking like crazy. He's like he's going 10 rounds with her organs. Like he's a right little boxer. And I'm like, what's to worry about?
Yeah, very similar approach, I think, to Charlotte. It's probably because Charlotte's medical, so it's very like, like you, whereas I'm more like Josie, I think, and do just worry for worry's sake sometimes.
Yeah, and Josie's had a bit of anxiety and depression, and that probably plays into it. And I don't, but for me, it's just. You follow the process, and what's in your control, you put 100% into what's in your control, and anything that's not in your control, you don't stress about it, because why? You're wasting energy where you can control something. Yeah. So put the energy into the thing that you can. Yeah. So and that's how it's been for me. I mean, like this whole IVF process as a man is just you're totally out of control. The only thing that you can control is how calm you can keep your partner, how happy you can keep her, and just doing the things that when she's tired, when she's upset, when she's whatever. That's the only thing that you can control. Yeah. And it must be even more difficult for your partners because they're going through it without any control. They're feeling tired. These bits that they just can't control at all. So I get it. I think Josie's just had the positive minds. Well, I say it's positive. It's a negative mindset, but we've both gone in, and especially Josie, with the figures are the figures. I
think that's the important bit, isn't it? I found it interesting since Charlotte's got pregnant, though, like the midwife appointments and stuff, and how. Like, I don't feel very prepared always to support them because you don't have the answers, do you? Like, I don't know. Like, Charlotte sometimes asks me stuff and I'm like, I don't know. No. I don't know. And you go into it just thinking, I don't know what to do for the best. What's best to do?
But I don't know. It's one of those, I suppose, in terms of like what Josie's been feeling in pains, there's nothing I can control apart from say, would you like a paracetamol? Would you this? Do anything to make her feel comfortable. Yeah. You just got to roll with those. And then, you're right. The midwife appointments are focused on the woman. Rightly, they should be.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I think there's a bit of me that says in my own side, and this is, again, where I've not... It's put 100% into, and actually where I've let myself down a little bit is... Like, in this day and age, there's so much out there to read. There's so many apps, there's so many websites, there's books. In fact, I've got 2 books. I've got 2 months to go and I've still not started reading them. That's one of my New Year's resolutions is to start to actually read them. Like, she's putting so much effort in. I'm pretty sure I can put my own arse into gear and read a book and read some web pages.
Yeah, I think I've been feeling the same, especially with Charlotte's job. I've just been like... She knows it. It's fine. I don't need to know, but I really do need to know, know, and stuff. And I completely agree. I think they've gone through a lot, haven't they? And I need to get my arse into gear a bit to at least know what to do, and stuff. Yeah, and I think sometimes there's so much information, it's overwhelming. I don't know if you feel like I'll try to look through that pack you get. There's just so much in it, and I was just like, well, where do you even begin?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What's actually important to know? Yeah, but
and then it goes on from there because then it's like, because you could even say, well, I tell you what, let's put the whole pregnancy to one side because it doesn't affect you as a man. You've just got to support your partner as best that you can. Because even when they're in labour, you're useless. You stand there in the corner and a midwife's going to deal with all of it.
Yeah.
But then even then after that, it's like, okay, well, I can figure out how to change your nappy. In fact, I've done an antenatal class. We did the free one at Sheffield Hospital, and then we've paid for one, so we start those next month. So we're doing antenatal classes. They're going to teach me how to clean the baby and change a nappy and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll pick that up. But then after that, it's like parenting styles and how to parent, and I've been doing scouts for like 15, 20 years. God, I've lost... probably 20 years, because I had a little break at one point, but probably been scouting for 20 years, and I've seen every kind of parenting. I've got my own ways of dealing with kids and stuff. But then even when it's my own one, it's like, well, how do I set the kid up for success? How do I, do the right things for the kid? Like...
Yeah. No, I agree.
I'm used to dealing with kids that the most I have, is we take them on account with a couple of other leaders. The other leaders are generally parents, so they're way more experienced at dealing with the kids than me. I just do the planning and the orchestrating. Yeah, it's that next bit. And then that's the bit that actually, for me, is a little bit more like there's so much, because it's like, what... do you read a book and do you follow a book? Do you, some people talk about food as the priority. Some people talk about sleeping as the priority of getting your kids sorted. There's all sorts of it.
I think sometimes that's where it muddies the water as well. I don't know if you've had it, but people always interject, don't they, with what they think's best. And then you're there like, and then you look at their kids. It just gets all muddled, doesn't it? Because everyone interjects with what they think's best or what you're doing wrong. Or I think Charlotte's had it during the pregnancy, being like, well, I wouldn't be doing that. I wouldn't have found out the sex. I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have done that. And it's like, fair enough. But then I think it builds up that pressure a bit unnecessarily.
But that's one of those, actually, I've got to say it again. It's me and Josie. I don't know whether it's just us. And part of me feels like we're probably coming really ignorant at this point. But... we've gone into this and we know people are going to share their opinions, and we've just ignored them. We've the only thing that we've not ignored is where people have the same opinion, because a lot of people. So if you speak to two people, they'll give you two answers. But if you speak to five people, three will give you one answer and two will give you different answers. And there's a lot of stuff as I've gone along where it's like, if I hear a couple of people say it, then I'll start thinking, all right, I've heard a couple of people say that. But every individual opinion, we've both gone into it. We've both been going along and gone, I don't care what anyone says. We won't care until we hear it 2 or 3 times. Yeah.
I think there's a bit of it as well. You've just got to figure it out yourself, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
And you want to as well, don't you? I think that's the important bit, is you want to. And there's going to be mistakes, but that's just part of it, isn't it? And stuff, and that's all you can do.
Oh, God, yeah. I'm going to make plenty of mistakes. And then as long as we figure out how to either correct from that mistake or not make that mistake again, that's fine. Mistakes are part of life. It's the only way that you're going to learn anything.
Yeah, definitely, Do you feel prepared, though?
No. I never feel prepared for anything, in all fairness. I'm one of those people where if you ask me to do something, I'd want to do it to perfection, even though I know that you'd never hit perfection. So I constantly feel unprepared for everything. But I think the place that we are is we're in a really good place. Josie did something. She was reading something when we first found out we're pregnant, and it was about like it was basically get like all the baby stuff and do all the things that you want to prepare all the heavy stuff in your second trimester. Yeah. Because that way you can tell people what you're doing, so it's not that you don't have to do it in secret. Yeah. But then also it's the point where you've got the most energy. Yeah. So we did that. So like the baby's room, most of that sort. Yeah. So there's a few bits. We need to buy nappies. We need to buy odds and sods. There's a list of things that we need to get. But we've done all the heavy stuff. So that's good. It's not like we've got to rush around and find prams and that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, definitely.
Pack a hospital bag, because actually by the time we hit mid-January, the baby could come at any time. So we just need to do that. But stuff that either we can't order on Amazon the next day, or we can't drop everything and just pack a bag or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, we'll be fine.
Oh no, I agree. Yeah, and I think getting it started. Like obviously we're not due till May, but with my ADHD, I've tried to do everything as early as possible, as we could see.
The one time it's come into an advantage.
I was going to say, the one time ADHD's been useful is just trying to get the nursery sorted. To be fair, with lots of swearing involved as well. And it's nice that we're both you're having a little boy, aren't you? We're having a little girl, and
yeah, I think
it'll be nice.
It's crazy. I think one of my biggest concerns actually going into this is my friends, because I'm considerably older than you, unfortunately. My friends have all got kids ranging from the youngest being 6 months. Yeah. I want to say my friends. I mean, my friends from like school that I grew up with. The youngest one being... No, tell a lie, sorry. The youngest one's 9 months. The oldest one is 6.
Right.
7. Yeah, about 6-ish. And like... we don't see those friends anymore as much. Like why me and you have started doing things together more is because they've got kids, they've got these new lives, and they've moved on. They're not in the same place as we are in life, and that was fine. But then when we were into this, and especially because especially going into IVF, and we were successful on the first round. Is it felt like it happened before we expected it to. I expected to be 2 or 3 rounds in, so we'd probably got another year, and you'll come across people in that time, and we literally just went into it. So I was kind of like, when we did find out we're pregnant, I was like, Jesus, I'm doing this on my own realistically, because we'd heard of friends who were all in WhatsApp groups texting each other when they'd all got young the same age, and they'd been on mat leave together and all these kind of things, and I'm like, we're on our own here. We just got to roll with this. So we signed up to an antenatal class, which is actually focused on you making friends with the people that are there. And so I was like, well, that's a start. But then, we found out you and another friend of ours, we've all just ended up with you kids in the space of like a couple of weeks. That's actually really nice. I think that to be honest, I think once we found out you and Jamie were expecting, it was just like sigh, not in this.
It really helped us. I think 'cause obviously we already knew, so for us it was pure just like, isn't it nice that even though we will make friends throughout the whole journey, but we've known each other a long time, haven't we? That we've got like a core.
Yeah, and our
we can go through it with.
Yeah, and it's like as well because our wives didn't really know each other, but now they're getting really good friends, and they're going to be on mat leave. I don't think they've stopped texting each other for the past few weeks.
Definitely not. No,
but they're going to be on mat leave mostly together.
Oh yeah.
We're going to sign our child up to the same nursery as you, so that there's that bit there that if you ever need to picking up, vice versa. So we're going to be in this together, which is nice. It's nice to know that we've just got friends in it with us.
Yeah, I think it's really helped Charlotte and Josie as well, having someone to go through it with. And I feel like their personalities are quite similar in a way, aren't they? And I think that's really helped them when they have maybe had a bit of a wobble or something, that they've been able to support each other through it.
Definitely.
Which has been really nice. So, it'll be interesting when it's... I just can't believe we're going to be dads. So that's just mental, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely terrifying. But
poor kids.
It'll be good. And I think the biggest takeout from this, for you anyway, and it won't work for everyone, but it's really helped you, is just having that sort of level head to it all, isn't it? And not going in with any too high expectations, but just being realistic about it and seeing what works best for you two, and just having that open communication with each other about it and not bottling it up.
Yeah, no, definitely. Communication's, I mean, any relationship, communication's key. But I also think is if you've got friends, you need friends that you can chat through it with, because, just to talk, whatever, and you just... Yeah, you need friends. Communication is key between you and your friends and stuff, just so you know that there's someone listening to you and you're there. Yeah. And then, I think in terms of like the IVF kind of thing is, you can't go into it being, which is your last option before you start thinking about adoption. Yeah. But it is a little silver lining, but don't put your whole don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Definitely,
We were very much like, if this doesn't work, we'll put a home out there for someone.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, it's really nice. It's been great talking to you. Thank you. I think that's the
good.
most serious we've been for that length of time ever. But no, it's been great. And yeah, so I guess mine and yours journey has been very Sheffield focused, hasn't it? But so I would really recommend anyone in Derbyshire to check out the local sort of information. We'll put some links in the description below with all of that in. We're also releasing a perinatal mental health guide. So if you are struggling, whether you're a dad, mum, parent, partner, carer, you'll be able to use that. That's also got some great resources and information in. So you've been listening to the Let's Chat Derbyshire podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you.